Hi everyone! Ignore my skin. It's because I was so sick and stressed out the past 2 weeks. My skin reacted to that, but whatever. I'm starting with my Ole Henriksen oil. I love this oil to moisturize my skin, especially during the winter. And just to smooth out any texture, I'm using the Benefit Professional. I also have really large pores, so I just work in a little bit of product into those pores. I start with my brows always. I feel like it shapes my face. Using this amazing brow brush, it's by Beauty Junkie, and the powder, I mix the gel and the powder from this little duo and slowly work it into my brows. I just feel like powder makes them look really good, but a little bit more natural. And this brush is so bomb. I have a coupon code for it. I'm not just saying it's bomb, but you could see how well it's like doing such a good job while I fill in my brows. I have a code and I'll leave the link below, that way you can find them really easily. It's 100% Tina K approved. I'm obsessed with this brow brush. And I'm going to clean up my brows using Benefit Boing Concealer. They gifted me a bunch of different concealers. This one so far is my favorite. You're going to see how well it blends straight into my skin tone. It is an industrial strength concealer, which means it's like for a pro makeup artist kit, but the way that it blended into my skin tone is truly amazing. Like, it doesn't make my brow bone look too bright and fake, and it covered up my blemish really, really well. So far I'm loving it, but I've only used it to clean up my brows. And I'm just going to prime my eyes. I do this in every single tutorial. I use Benefit Stay Don't Stray and then use a brush to blend it out. This is my own palette. It's all my favorites in a Z palette. I'm going to start with Anastasia Beverly Hills Orange Soda as a transition shade and a blending brush. This is an e.l.f. blending brush with a Makeup Forever Artist Shadow. This shadow is M-664, I believe. It's such a great warm shade. I used to use it all the time, but now that I made my Z palette, I use it more often. Now that I laid down the base, I could start working in the rest of the look. So I'm going to use this brush. I'll leave it below because I forgot what it is. And Red Earth from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm tapping off the excess because I really didn't want it to be too heavy. I just kind of wanted a color that would bring out my eye color, give me a little bit of a wing, but nothing too crazy. Because it wasn't dark enough, I'm using the same color, and now I'm packing it in on top. So this can give you a gradient smoky without needing black or a darker shade. You could use the same shade and just apply it heavier or layer it, and then of course blend it out again. So I gave myself natural wings that we can always clean up, but always blend back into your brow bone because you don't want any harsh lines. Now the base is down, a second base, and I'm going to use Anastasia Gold Dust. And I'm doing this in my inner eye corner. I don't normally do this, but you can see how quickly it opens up my eyes. It'll do the same for you. So if you have smaller eyes, I do recommend doing this. And then I'm slowly working it into the eyelid so that way it looks blended. I'm going to use this brush. It's like a royal nickel brush, and Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow Intense Gaze. I'm a little rusty in all the names and colors because I made sure I use things that I've never used before, so it's hard to remember when I record my voiceover. But it's a very pretty maroon purpley shade which brings out green eyes. But again, purples look good on a lot of different skin tones and a lot of different eye colors, so you could still wear this look if you don't have green hazel eyes. Just some basic makeup wipes. I'm cleaning up the outer corner to keep the wing. And I'm going to color correct using LA Girl Pro Corrector Orange. A tiny bit goes a long way, so I did not apply a lot. And I'm going to use the Sigma Precision Concealer Brush to blend it out. It's still kind of heavy, but I'm going to use a damp beauty blender and blend it out a little bit more. It's an amazing corrector for only $3, so I do recommend it if you have dark circles or pigmentation as well. Using a blender to blend out the color correction will make sure it lays perfectly under your foundation. My favorite combo is Makeup Forever Ultra HD and Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. I put a drop of each on the back of a beauty blender and then I blend it into my skin. I've done this in a couple tutorials, but I start from the outside in. Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Medium is a great concealer for my skin tone, but I think that the formula is amazing, so I use this often. And I blend it out with a beauty blender. For my foundations and my concealers, I really prefer a beauty blender because I like how it applies and I like how it shears everything out while keeping the coverage. I don't have a problem with mold or anything. This is sand. I use concealer to cream highlight basically. I just think it stays on longer and it looks more natural and not, and this concealer doesn't give me a lot of flashback at all. And I put that big line on my chin because my chin is so much smaller than the other features on my face. So just to keep the balance of the contour and highlight, I make sure that I make my chin appear a little bit wider, and it does make a hell of a difference on my face. So when you're contouring, make sure you know the different shapes on your face and where to correct, because it's not just to give you like a slender look, it's to kind of make your face more symmetrical also. So try that shit out. I sound all professional. Now using the Tarteist Contour Palette. I really do like this palette, by the way. And an OPV tapered brush. I'm going in with the corrector shade, so it's more yellow. And I'm packing that right on under my eyes to set all the concealers and the highlight. It's called a corrector because it'll brighten under your eyes, but I use it to set the rest of my concealer too. I don't think it's a big deal. It goes on really nice to set the under eyes. Like, I recommend this palette and I think it's a great price. Now I'm going to use the highlight powder in the palette and I'm going to go over all the spots that I want more highlighted on the face. What I like about this is that it does give you a more highlighted appearance, but it's not overwhelming where when you take a picture and it flashes back, you don't look crazy. And of course, I'm contouring using my favorite Cover FX cream contour and this new contour brush that I found in one of my kits. It looks crazy, but it turned out to work really well. So I'm going to show you how I started sculpting my cheek. I never contour like this either, so this is new. I'll speed it up because you get the point. And it blends out really nicely. Like, it's not hard bristles, so it doesn't make it too harsh, but also the product I use is amazing, so it's kind of hard to fuck that up. And from the same kit, oh wait, I got ahead of myself. I also contour, well, you've seen me contour before, but I put it in all the places that you're supposed to contour, and on the jawline, I keep it more towards the back because you never ever want like a weird line up in the front of your jaw. And I never contour my nose, but I just decided to today, so I dragged it right down the center and then right across over because that makes your nose look really cute. Obviously, we need to blend this out. But this is how it should look in the beginning. And using a large powder brush, I'm gonna put it, basically go back and forth with the same palette, but only by using a little bit more product. I might not even, you know, like, you have to feel it out because sometimes when you blend shit out, it takes off product. But it laid on really smooth and it blends into my foundation so well. That's why I love this palette so much. And it's really golden, and I'm a more golden type of person. I like a fluffy brush because you can work it into your foundation to make it look more natural while still contoured, because I don't like any harsh lines in a contour. For my nose, I like to use my fingers sometimes, but it's totally up to your preference. I mean, anything that I'm doing here is your preference. You can copy the colors, but do it your way. Tarte bronzer and a Sigma bronzing brush. This is my favorite combo. It's hard for me to switch off of it. I do switch between this and the Benefit Hoola bronzer. It's just a habit by now. I think it goes on really pretty. This bronzer is so amazing, and this brush is so amazing. I've been raving about these two. I'm obsessed with them. So it's a Mikasa, I'll leave the information below, but it's a Mikasa F100 and a JCat Beauty, I'm sorry, a Mikasa F100 brush and a JCat Beauty baked bronzer in Bora Bora. And then to highlight, it's called a baked bronzer, but it's basically a highlighter. And this one is Coconut Island. These two are amazing. Everyone's been asking me how I get my glow, and these products are it. I just think everything comes out flawless when I use them. I can't believe the price on them. And the Mikasa brush is just fucking life. So there's your answer. I get a comment every time I post something. This is also a J Cat Beauty blush. It's really pigmented and I packed it on a little bit too heavy. That's why I started laughing at myself. But it turned out to still look cute. Sometimes a lot of blush is cute. I don't know. I try to blend it out anyways. And just because I wanted more of a highlight, because you know, I'm going in with Anastasia Glow Kit, and I use the more yellow color. I forgot what it's called, but it's the super yellow one. I'm putting this just on the outer corner because this is not supposed to be a dramatic eye look at all. And I'm taking this little pencil brush with the same Make It Forever shadow and blending it into the outer corner, and then with a blending brush and orange soda, I'm blending under my eyes. And just for a little brow bone highlight, I'm taking the same gold dust eyeshadow and putting a little bit. After all the powder, sometimes it gets all over my brows. So I'm using Benefit Gimme Brow, and you could see how amazing it just cleans up my brows and kind of sets them also. And when I don't want to fill my brows, I just throw this in my purse and it takes 2 seconds to put brows on. So you could use it with or without doing your brows with a pencil. Just to prime my eyelashes, I'm using Benefit's They're Real Lash Primer. They gifted this to me as well, but I do really love it because it's more natural. It's a great color. And I thought this color would be great, but I wasn't really feeling it. Even though it's so beautiful, it just did not go with this eye look in my opinion. So it's cute, but I wound up taking it off anyway. And it's so pigmented it stains. Instead, I went in with Lipland Montenegro liquid lipstick. It's in collaboration with Reezy on Instagram. It is so gorgeous. It's such a deep berry shade. I haven't worn colors in such a long time, but I just got my lips redone. And this video was probably like 4 days ago, so you know, you want to like have your lips wearing every color. Now that I prime my lashes, I'm going to go back in with a Tarte mascara, lights, camera, lashes, and of course I fucked it up. I couldn't do a spotlight this time. Something weird was happening with my phone, but thank you so much for watching. Leave me your suggestions below and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram. Bye.